What's up, everybody? Dark Knight 316, Robert Ruler Gaming, and this is the Tackles and Takedown podcast. Alright, so interesting things have been happening in wrestling. I mean, some people got released, and then rumors of other people are coming back. I don't know if they'll show the vignette on here, but we'll see. We'll see what happened here with the Raw. And then we'll see NXT, SmackDown, all those ones there. And then we'll play the best wrestling game on the internet, Wrestling 20 Questions. So
best wrestling game on the internet.
So Oba Femi attacked Paul Heyman last week. So this week, Paul Heyman had to have protection. So he had the security come to protect him and Brock Lesnar.
Was Sting part of that, since he's part of the police?
And so, they had to do that for their protection for en route to the Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam. And you have Io Sky defeating Roxanne Perez for the, because she's going to be facing Liv Morgan. And then you got Maxxine Dupri beat up on Otis and Tozawa.
Oh, they finally are getting rid of that Alpha Academy.
Yeah, Well, I think what's going to happen is that what's his face? Chad Gable is going to reunite with the Alpha Academy, and they're going to come back and they'll fight the Vision now because Maxxine Dupri turned on them with Austin Theory and what's his face? The Braun Breaker. But you see that what's his face? Otis here was like, okay, I'm going to what's happening here? Like, oh, I'm okay. Yeah, I accept you that you're like leaving us, whatever, and she sets him up to get low blowed by Austin Theory. And then, so she turns on them, and he's like, why? And then Tozawa comes to go comfort Otis, and as Tozawa gets up, he gets speared.
Who was Otis's partner when he was in the tag team? And then they released that guy, and then they had to put him with Tozawa.
It was
I keep thinking Viking Raiders.
No, Viking Raiders are on AAA right now, but I can't think of his guy's name, but that guy never came back.
Yeah. So that's what I think is weird. Like, what made Otis really good? And then
he could do the
that guy did it because he did the worm,
the snail, or whatever it's called. But then we got Royce Keys versus Jimmy Uso. So they're gonna be having at SummerSlam Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and L.A. Knight, against the Usos, and then a tag team match, the Usos and Jacob Fatu. So I guess they're trying to get Royce Keys, I guess, to try to join the bloodline, because he has history with Jacob Fatu. So they show the match here. Solo Sikoa got Fatu's attention, pleaded for the Samoan Werewolf to stop the attack. What was funny, though, is because Solo's like, I'm lonely, man. Let me go join the bloodline. And then he goes, stands up in the ring, puts up the one. Jimmy comes. Oh, yeah, he's back, puts up the one. Jacob goes, oh, yeah, goes up, puts up the one. And then Solo goes and beats up on Jimmy.
Jacob Fatu's still with Roman Reigns' side? Yeah. I thought that he would have turned by now. Which is weird because it's like the storyline's kind of... That's why you have the rest of these guys, because it's kind of running dry.
They might have it where Solo is just doing this whole thing to set up LA Knight. And they'll join the bloodline at SummerSlam.
Which would be weird. You're doing all this just to set up LA Knight. Trying to set up Roman Reigns.
I mean, that's what they could do on there, because the megastar LA Knight Sikoa and Keys going to be 6-man there. You got Lyra Valkyrie.
I saw this video. It was good.
And attacked one on her friend after learning from the two colitis.
She changed up her look. Lyra Valkyria. She changed up her look now.
And Bailey has it.
Bailey is the one getting beat up right there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she changed up her look. Like when I was watching this video, and it was like she looked completely different now.
They call Bailey Triple B right now. So
the Lyra Valkyria look like one of those. I can't think of her name. Is it Rosemary from Impact Wrestling? Mm-hmm. That's what she was kind of looking like during this talk. But if she keeps that would be an interesting look and stuff like that. She's the
number one contender for that. To probably fight for the women's title.
I hope so. I hope she wins. I like Lyra Valkyria.
Then we have the number one contender to fight for the IC title match. So Dominic defeated Joe Hendry with the Sparks of Hope from JD. So he might beat Penta for the IC belt, and then he'll get the IC belt.
Because he's not even going to face for the IC because it's a gauntlet match.
Yeah, but it's a number one contenders match.
For the gauntlet, yeah. So they would have to go on to face who's next after.
I know, but I'm saying he might end up going to face Penta for it and beat Penta for the IC belt. And then that'll be what his... he had the IC belt before, huh? Yeah. Then he'll get that again. He's still the AAA World title, too. And then... Javon Evans defeated Dominic Mysterio with the OG cutter after Danhausen caused a distraction. Yeah, because, he comes out in this car and he goes, "You are cursed." And what was funny was the explosion goes on the wrong turnbuckle, and then Danhausen's like, and then you just see Javon Evans beat up on Dominic. And then Javon Evans defeats Dragon Lee. So it says Rusev defeat John Evans with the Bulgarian Brutes Alkaloid, incapacitating Evans. So you thought that Evans was the the next guy. Don't apparently look like it. And then here it's Chad Gable defeats Rusev when he escapes the Alkaloid before hitting a German suplex to the turnbuckle. So you got him. So Chad Gable made Ethan Page tap out and lock in number one contender. So that's who's gonna be. So it's not actually Dominic Mysterio.
So I'm hoping Chad Gable does win it. Maybe he'll come back as Americano.
He won't win because they already gave it to.
But it would be interesting. I think it's they need to start pushing Chad Gable into the world champion spotlight.
Well, I think that having the IC belt would be good for him because then he's a champion finally, and then.
He had a champion briefly, one of those, right? The IC or the US? I thought he had it briefly.
Maybe. And then, I don't know, is that your guy for 20 questions?
We'll find out.
He, will probably then join the Alpha Academy, have them join back so that he has backup and stuff. But then he, because if he beats Penta, it's like he's beating the luchador that he finally can't. Beat. And so it beats Penta, becomes that champion there, then he can go and have Dominic, have a bunch of feud. The IC belt could actually be a better championship than the world titles are right now. But here you go. You got Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns signing their contract signing for SummerSlam. And Roman was saying that Seth could only beat him with cashing in the Money in the Banks on there, but he could never beat him one-on-one on his own. And he said all Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy. Triple H is crony and can't do anything on his own. And Seth Rollins was like, "You were nobody at all. He was the head of the Shield. He was the face of the Shield." He said, "All you were was nepotism." He said, "Because you have, he said, your cousin's the head of the company, so you're the one that gets everything handed to you." He said he had to work for everything. So they had their feud there. So I don't know. Who do you think's going to win for the SummerSlam? Do you think it's going to be Seth freaking Rollins?
I think Roman Reigns will win it, but I'm hoping Seth Rollins wins just because I like Seth Rollins as champ, but also Seth Rollins only holds a champ for like a month before he gets injured, so that's the thing that sucks too. To like give it to him, and then Roman Reigns has to win it back. But
that's another thing that Roman talked about too, saying that if you do win it, I mean, you get hurt, and I can just get it back. So
I was also thinking too, it would be interesting. I know it won't happen, but it'd be interesting. Like Seth Rollins gets Dean Ambrose, and to help
what was
Roman
weird
Reigns.
Though is they actually showed a package and didn't blur out Dean Ambrose.
Yeah,
they showed the Shield. Usually, what they do is they'll blur him out because he's part of a different company and they don't want anything to happen.
I was thinking it would be interesting. It would be funny like that because remember, Dean Ambrose was the first world champ out of the Shield, so they were. The rest of them didn't win it until Dean Ambrose did. But as you were talking about, when Dean Ambrose took it, it was like he couldn't separate champion from actual
character. And the character 24/7, which isn't like it's okay and then not okay, but it's like to make you more popular, people want to see the actual human of it, not just that you're playing your character the whole time. Because
unless you're the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. So here for the NXT results, we have the NXT Tag Champions, the Vanity Project, defeated Shawn Legacy.
Who's a Ricky Smokes?
and Dorian Van Dux. What I think is weird in this one is they have too many people called like Ricky this and Ricky that, when you're just trying to sit on the card, you're like, is this, Ricky Saints, is this, from AEW or Impact or anything like that. But then we got Naraku defeated Tate Wilder, so now that guy's no longer in the World Championship one. I think he's married to Io Sky or dating Io Sky or something.
I don't know.
I think that's why they brought him over. You got your North American champions, Azuria, defeated Izzy Dame, Lizzie Rain, and Evolve Women's Champion, Nikita Lau in a fatal 4-way. Dang. That Evolve Women's Champion, that's no, because that's the speed. The Evolve one is the light heavyweight. Then they're bringing that back now. That's interesting. And then you got Jackson Drake defeat Tavon Heights. I swear I've seen this match. Like they must have wrestled many times before.
They must not have anybody else
because it looks like the same picture. Like they just put back up on here. And then you got Lola Vice, your favorite, defeated Kalani Jordan and Kaylee Armstrong for the NXT #1 Contenders triple threat match. So Lola Vice might actually win.
She'll probably win the women's champ, and then whoever the women's champ is moves up to the main roster. Yeah. Kendall Gray will probably move up to the main roster.
Yep, and that was the main event, so we have that. I don't know. NXT hasn't been.
I told you, I think the best division right now in NXT are the women's division. I don't think that they're, because one of the things is like what you see with the women's division. Even like you got Lola Vice, but you got some of those other mid-card women who are pretty popular without having to win a world champ. Like you probably give them a couple of years for the main roster women to kind of retire or do whatever they do. So you bring up this new group. But like for the men, I can't find somebody who stands out besides a Tony D'Angelo who's the champion. Like you can't really find out anybody who stands out on their own. That would be a big name to say like, okay, this guy's moving up. And I don't think like Ricky Saints or whatever will move up to, like if he moves up to the main roster, it's not really going to matter too much. But
yeah, I hope that they don't unify the belts because they needed to be separated. But rumors are that they might unify the world titles.
I hope not.
Because how you saw like CM Punk and all that came on Raw, and the other ones came on SmackDown.
The one thing you saw that worked well, like during the time when they did that whole undisputed champion, was like they had, when they split them again, they had more opportunities for other people who weren't chasing after the WWE title. They had more opportunities for people to go after the world title to try to make a name for themselves and be able to like build their career and things like that. If you unify them, you just got a bunch of basically mid-card guys who are fighting for like the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, so it'll be like, basically it's like no point to even build up the people because you're going to just have the same.
And you can't unify it because what are you going to do? Fatal 4-way with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes.
They want, because they don't want,
and then that's it. You're going to no. It doesn't make sense. If you have two different belts, then why do you have two different shows? Just keep one show, and that's the whole point. That's the whole reason why when Vince McMahon bought WCW, and he started seeing that it was basically like the show wasn't looking so good because he didn't have enough competition. Yeah. So he had to split the belt again.
But also, it's like you have to split the belt because you have too big of a roster.
Yeah.
That it makes no sense to...
but they might want to just keep the roster low because of money and things like that.
Well, speaking of rumors, so they did a vignette, and they put an area code up there, and they showed this big guy on the vignette. So they get rid of Sheamus, and rumors are, if it's true, that Big Cass might be coming back. To it.
He might be cheaper.
If he comes back, people are saying that Enzo might be coming back with him as well.
It would be good because the tag team division's kind of weak right now.
Yeah, but I mean, with the
everything that's been going
everything
on.
that Enzo said to WWE on there, I think he might be coming back since Vince McMahon doesn't own the stuff.
Yeah,
it might be
and it's new. Yeah, it's new leadership and things like that.
But it was Big Cass and Enzo's contract was up on AEW, so
both of them were on AEW. I didn't know Enzo was on there.
Well, Enzo was like, he's free agent, so
he's free agent. It would be interesting because I think that they do need, and if they do call them, again, Cass and Enzo, I think they do need them back as if they can let them use that same gimmick that made them popular. I think the whole thing. I think the reason why though it was bad for Big Cass was because of his relationship with what's her name? Can't think of her name, but she's out now. Who's
Rhea Ripley?
No, she's married to the announcer guy.
Oh,
the reason why?
Yeah, Corey Graves' wife.
Yeah, that's a whole reason.
I can't think of her name.
That's a whole reason why his career, basically, because of their whole breakup with
and
Corey Graves and all that stuff.
I also think it's because since he was attacked him with Enzo, whatever Enzo Amore did reflected on him. So it was like,
so it was tough for
Enzo
both of them.
Did the pipe bomb type thing and told everybody to go F themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like then it looked bad on Big Cass, and that's why for like that longest time, they could not get a job together. That's why they had to separate each other, and that's why Big Cass was trying to make his name for the Indies by himself, and Enzo was just not doing anything. And then so that's why Big Cass finally did Impact, and then he did AEW, and he became popular in AEW. But then what Tony Khan does is usually he'll sign you on for so much to see how well you do, and then after your contract ends, he just doesn't renew it, and they don't really negotiate too much, because if you're not, like if you didn't build yourself up or become super popular in AEW, then he just doesn't renew it because it doesn't see like, you got that money potential. So, and then if you're hard to work with, you probably won't sign, because that one guy when CM Punk got into a fight with backstage and all that stuff, that guy's a free agent.
Yeah.
But I believe he re-signed with AEW, but at that time he was a free agent, and WWE was looking into trying to get him, but CM Punk was like, "Oh, you can't bring this guy over because they want to."
Yeah, my whole thing though is funny because CM Punk's like, "I'm never going back to WWE. Hey, we'll pay you X amount. I'm coming back to the WWE." Like, you never say you not come back because even though there's an AEW and an Impact Wrestling, WWE is the big leagues. and you're going to make a name for yourself on WWE, why do you think Rusev came back?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he's like a low mid-card guy right now, he knows that he's going to be more popular and get more spotlight on the WWE than he did in AEW.
Yeah, so. AEW's not big enough yet.
I mean, they were doing pretty good when Cody Rhodes took it and things like that.
They're like not super big enough where it's something that WWE has to worry about right now, but they're getting to it. So basically, right now it's like the Attitude Era starts of it, where WCW's looking promising. So like maybe if AEW reveals everything that happens to on WWE,
I could see AEW could give the WWE a potential run for their money, just simply because there's no Vince McMahon, so you can't really squash the competition there. And because UFC is corporate, it's like Triple H can't do what he would want to do. And AEW, if Tony Khan's just like, I'll do whatever I want,
because it's his money,
he can do it. Yeah,
he doesn't have to worry about anything. But also, I saw a clip of Stephanie McMahon's podcast. She had CM Punk on there, and CM Punk was talking about the pipe bomb incident, where she was wanted to get some stuff off his chest, and so Vince was like, okay, well, I'll let you get some stuff out of your chest, but you need to write down what you're going to say. So he said he wasn't going to say what he really wanted to say to Vince McMahon, so he wrote up some fake pipe bomb thing, and Vince looked over at it. He's like, oh, this is pretty good stuff. He goes, well, one thing you got to change. And he goes, what's that? He goes, I want you to make fun of Stephanie more. Stephanie's like, what? He's like, yeah. And then, of course, that didn't happen.
With your doofus husband and whatever he said like that, yeah.
And then, so everybody there's Saturday, August 1st and August 2nd, SummerSlam, Minnesota.
Ooh, that's coming up.
Yep. And so here we go.
But you know what? It's not as good as the best game show on the internet.
Take a look.
All right, so this is the start of Wrestling 20 Question. If you're not familiar with this game, this time it's Dark Knight 316. We'll have to ask 20 yes or no questions, trying to guess the wrestling or wrestler that Robert Wheeler Gaming has chosen. And I can only ask yes or no questions. And on the 20th question, I have to take a guess if I haven't guessed it sooner. I get three hints to try to go guess it. And this could be anybody from WWF, WWE, WCW, AEW, TNA. It could be any of those wrestling ones on there. So, with that, if you haven't been keeping track, I've kept track, and we're tied right now. So.
He's been able to cheat his way through this whole thing, but
we're tied on here. So, okay, so I need this victory to go win. So.
I got my phone. Not sure if you can see it in the mirror back here of what I got, but start with question number 1.
All right. So question number 1. Did this person wrestle before 2010?
Let me check. I believe so, but yes.
Okay. Is this wrestler wrestling today?
Let me check. I would say like not this year, but briefly wrestle. But I would say kind of semi-retired. Briefly wrestled like last year.
Just wrestles like on occasion.
On occasions, really. Yeah, just briefly. So I would say like more semi-retired.
Is this person on AEW?
Does not have a contract with AEW.
So she's not He's not on AEW?
No.
Okay. Is this person a Legends character?
No.
Okay. Is this person in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay. Is this person predominantly a singles wrestler?
Predominantly a singles wrestler. Before this person, like, basically semi-retired? Yes.
So he's in a tag team now?
No, it was never in a tag team.
Oh, well, that's why I was like predominantly single.
But predominantly, I mean, well, you could put him.
Like they may have
You
put
could
him
put the person
team,
in,
but
yeah.
he's
but
not.
Predominantly singles.
Was this person started in WCW?
No.
So the WWF guy. Okay, is this person got its popularity in the 80s?
No.
So the 90s dude. Is this person a Grand Slam winner?
No.
Okay. Did this person ever have the highest accolade of winning a world title? So WWE, the World Heavyweight Champion, ECW Champion?
No.
No. Okay. Does this person have a gimmick?
Let me check. I wouldn't say like a gimmick like Doink the Clown, but
yeah, but it could be a gimmick where it's like they're like the thugonomics and stuff like that kind of gimmick.
Nothing really like too big of a gimmick, but remember you do have hints, so.
All right, so I'm going to use one of my hints.
Started off as a valet,
and then became a wrestler.
And became a wrestler.
Let's see. So started off as a valet, then became a wrestler.
What question are we on?
We're on 11.
Dang, we're already at 11.
Mm-hmm. Is the beginning of this person's name a city in California?
A city in California?
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to think of who you would have been thinking of for a city in California.
L.A.
Oh, no. When was he a valet?
When he was from the
Maximum Male Models? No.
Remember?
He didn't start as a valet, though.
This person started as a valet and then became a wrestler, you said?
Mainly, that's how this person got their popularity.
Was this person a valet for... What is it? I'm trying to think if it was a valet for either Devon Dudley or John Cena.
No.
Okay.
You still got hints.
Okay, I'll take another hint.
All right. This one, I'll probably, because you look a little stumped, so I'll try to help you out a little bit. She wrestled for Tough Enough. So that should help you out because you looked a little stumped. So I didn't
even know it was the shit.
I may have given it away who the wrestler was because because you looked a little stumped. So I figured I'd give you a good enough hint.
She wrestled for.
Now, if you guys don't, as you're thinking, if you don't remember, Tough Enough used to be this like development competition, kind of where the Miz came from.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Oh no, I'm letting the audience know who didn't know that. That's where kind of you audition, you went through all these tryouts, kind of like elimination thing, but that was really big early on in the wrestling scene, and I would say early 2000s maybe.
I don't even think I remember her name if it was, but did she win when Maven won?
Did she win when Maven won?
Yeah.
So Maven won, and then they were like both. She would have won the female side. He would have won. No.
Because I thought it was whatever that chick's name was. That was with Jamie Noble.
Nydia?
Nydia.
No.
Yeah. Wasn't her?
Mm-mm.
And who else? What other chick won Tough Enough? Did she win Tough Enough, or was it
Is that your yes or no question?
or was she on Tough Enough? No, that was the hint. You said that she was in Tough Enough.
I said she was on Tough Enough.
Mm.
So
Doesn't
you
mean
asked
that
me, did she win it or
so
did she
doesn't mean that
not?
actually
Is that
won
your
it.
yes or no question?
Yes.
She did not win Tough Enough.
So what chick was on Tough Enough? Became a wrestler. I'm gonna use my last hint.
Last hint. Ooh, okay. I think this one will. This one will probably said what question you on?
15.
Okay, so this one will probably give it away. I'll give you this clue to help push you through. She's basically the Grand Slam winner of the women's division. Won both at the time the Divas and the women's champion, and was really popular during that scene to win multiple times. She was big name, first ever, I believe, Divas champ. Let me see. I believe she was, but she helped during that time when they were trying to push for like unification of the belt and stuff like that. But she was the first ever one to win both the women's and the Divas champion at the time. Not at the same time, but
Yeah.
So I would, because they did not have the mid cards, I would consider her as.
Is this your favorite diva?
This is my favorite diva. No. Who's my favorite diva?
I was thinking it was Paige.
No, it wasn't Paige.
So then, is this person married to CM Punk?
What question are we on? Is that 17?
16.
16. No, she's not married to CM Punk. I don't think Paige even went to a Tough Enough.
I don't think so.
I think they just signed her.
Who the hell is this chick then? I mean, it could be Natty, but I don't remember Natty going to Tough Enough though. I'm trying to think of people that have been in Tough Enough. That's on the women's side. It's not Ava Marie because she didn't win anything, so. And it's not Maurice because Maurice did the Diva Search thing. It wasn't that. One question 17. So.
Mm-hmm. You got what? 3 more questions left?
Mm-hmm. And then I gotta guess it. So. I'm trying to think.
And you're out of hints. I gave you some really good hints. I believe these hints were a lot better than what you normally gave me the last time. But I think they're good enough to be able to, if you piece them together, I think you could get it.
How could I piece it together? It's was the valet, was in Tough Enough, didn't win it, because I can't remember, because I know John Morrison, did John Morrison win his or did he lose his?
I believe John Morrison won his.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I believe it wasn't it during the time that
it was like him and Miz, right?
No, I think Miz was got eliminated. I think like Miz made it like top 5 or something, but I think John Morrison won it. It was with that guy who I believe it was either John Morrison won it too, but it was the guy who ended up dying recently.
Won it.
John Morrison was like number 2 or something.
Yeah, and then I think that guy got didn't get the contract anymore, and then
something like that. I know there was a guy, I believe he was on the same season as that one guy who ended up dying of cancer recently, but he was like big name on Tough Enough.
Because I know that the one guy that was a UFC fighter.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was that guy. The one who almost who
thought he was
Kurt Angle in that arm lock.
Yeah,
and the Kurt Angle got all mad. Yeah, no, it wasn't that guy. I don't think that was Daniel Pewter or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta think of.
But you got 3 more.
I know. I'm trying to think of the people that were on Tough Enough. That's what's hard. It's because I didn't watch it Tough Enough all the time. So.
Question 17.
I know. Is this person? I already asked if the person wrestled today, right?
Yeah, you already did. Yeah, so we won't.
You said no, right?
I said more semi-retired. Yeah, okay. Last time she wrestled was back in 2025. Okay. So I would consider that more semi-retired because you come in like for independence, things like that to wrestle.
I was gonna say, is this person still alive? But
yeah, she's still alive.
But obviously, if they came back in 2025, unless she died.
Like from what I was looking at her notes, they say she's retired, but I would say that she's kind of semi-retired because, if she made a brief return last year at Indies, then you would consider that. Like if you were retired, you wouldn't be making brief returns. So she could be retired this year, but if somebody comes in there,
but if she won that one, this will be my question subject. Is
this question 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this person married? No, because it couldn't be, because you said they didn't have a contract. So it's not that person. Well, I'm going to just say it in there, because maybe you don't know. Is this person married to Edge?
Married to Edge? No.
Yeah.
So you're thinking Beth Phoenix?
Yeah, because I was like, but she's on AEW, so you would know that.
Beth Phoenix on AEW now? Uh-huh. I didn't know that.
She had to save her husband a few times.
I didn't know that they actually put her on there, but...
So my other question, I'm just going to burn this one up for 18 because I have no clue who this person is.
I think you have a clue who it is.
Actually, I don't. Does this person have a twin?
Have a twin?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So I thought it was one of the Bella twins. So this is question 19. So this is my last question.
Last question you can ask before you have to guess who it is.
So it's not married to CM Punk.
No.
Not married to The Miz.
We all know you're just stalling to pull this out at the very last minute because you do it all the time.
No,
you do it all the time, so we know it.
Trying to think of Diva.
We know you're going to be able to.
Won the Divas champion and won the women's title. They pretty much unified the belt on that. Who's the one? I know they've talked about this chick, but what's throwing me off is trying to remember somebody who's been in Tough Enough. And it wasn't that Nidia. That's the only chick I can remember there besides that Sarah Lee chick that died. But you said that this person's still alive. So, who's this chick that... Yeah, because not Natty, because Natty never went into Tough Enough.
She could have been a trainer for Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Natty, wasn't she a trainer for Tough Enough?
I think so. But, let's see. Who at that time would have got the Divas and the women's title? Because it wasn't like Trish or anybody like that. Because they mostly just had the women's champion at that time. They didn't have the Divas. The Divas was more of Paige's era with Paige, Megan Fox, or not Megan Fox.
Megan Fox was in there?
Alicia Fox. Let's see. Who else was there? Layla. But was Layla in Tough Enough then? See, that's what's hard. Is your Tough Enough clue did not help me, but you thought it did. Because it was like Paige had the Divas one and the women's title. Yeah. But who recently came back and wrestled? And you said when they briefly came back and wrestled?
It was independent. It wasn't on any of the big shows.
So it wasn't like Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, it could have just been whatever independent house show was. Yeah. It wasn't one of those big name. But, you are out of clues, but I could tell you she did have a brief stint with Impact Wrestling in 2021. But... you're out of clues, so I couldn't give you any more. But yeah, I would consider her more, even though notes I read, they say she's retired, I would consider semi-retired, because if she's coming back doing things, but I would tell you, if
So it can't be
any wrestling people are watching that, she should be in the Hall of Fame. She needs to be in the Hall of Fame next year.
Can't be Tessa Blanchard because Tessa Blanchard never was in Tough Enough.
Well, you got one more clue before you have to guess who it is.
I know.
So
I'm trying to
stop stalling, Dark Knight. Stop stalling.
I'm not stalling. I'm trying to
piece your clues together. Yeah, piece your clues together. Or what you have.
I'm trying to think. But I'm getting rushed here. So it's like, was in Tough Enough, was semi-retired, was around with was involved in the unification of the Women's and Divas Champion. Trying to think. Because he's doing this purposely for me to lose because he knows that I haven't kept up too much on the women's side of the wrestling. So next time I'm just going to pick some hard one for him to do, and then he's going to get all pissed off.
Yeah, you probably will. So,
and so I'm trying to think.
Who do you think it's going to be?
See, this is hard. Who was a popular? I'm trying to think of all the good wrestlers around the time. I'm just gonna throw out. Was it around the time when they were doing that diva search, where like the Miz found Maurice, and they had all the ones that were training?
Now, is this question 19?
This will be question 19.
Let me check, but I don't think it would be around the diva search because she was part of Tough Enough. She would have more than likely not have been part of the Diva Search.
Wasn't that ended up being like Tough Enough type thing for them because they paired up and they had to go do the stuff?
No, I don't think it was really that. Because I think, remember, Tough Enough started to kind of like die off.
That's why I thought they did like that.
But no, she was not part of the Diva Search. So,
right, so
yeah, number 20.
Yeah, so
you have to guess who it is. So
I am thinking, if I have to go and pick...
So you got 20. You got to pick who this is. Are you going to be able to pull it out? I think you will. I think you will.
I'm not going to.
I think so.
I'm not going
That's usually what happens.
I'm going to think...
Yeah, I think you normally could guess it.
If it's a person I'm going to pick, thinking... trying to think around the time... what's her name? I'm going to pick Michelle McCool. No, it's not.
No, but I tell you this: she helped unify the title, the Divas title, and the Women's title against Michelle McCool, and Michelle McCool won.
Is it the one that's married to Undertaker?
Michelle McCool is married to Undertaker.
Oh, so it's not that. It's Layla or whatever.
Do you want to?
Well, you're gonna have to guess.
You want me to tell you who it is?
Yeah.
Valet for Eminem. Remember Eminem? Melina.
Yeah, but
she's a 3-time women's champion, a 2 times Divas champ.
I don't ever remember her on Tough Enough.
She was on Tough Enough season 3, but lost basically the first round. Ended up becoming a wrestler. Became a valet for Eminem. And then when she went solo career, she had a very successful solo career, even though she's not in the Hall of Fame and they put in all the other women in there. But she's semi-retired. They said she's semi-retired this year, but her last independent was in 2025 for Indie Show in Paris. So she makes brief appearances. But yeah, she was. They said that in 2010, Michelle McCool defeated Melina to become the first unified Divas champion, and Melina's been a 5-time champion, which is weird to me.
I thought Melina was gone way before then.
No, I know, surprisingly. Let me see when did her career.
Remember, after, I remember her having a brief stint as a solo wrestler, but I don't ever remember her getting the title. And
so her career ended in 2011, and she ended up battling Beth Phoenix, and then was released shortly after that. But she had a good 7-8 year career run during that time. But I thought you were going to get it when I said valet, because she started out as valet for Eminem and then became real popular after.
I didn't know she was a valet for Eminem.
Yeah,
Yeah, he needed a valet when he was rapping and stuff.
And so then, even when you were talking about, like, I thought you were getting the clues because when you talked about John Morrison, I figured, well, you're probably leading on the right track with.
No, because I can't remember all the people that's been on the Tough Enough. Like, I remember John Morrison, and he lost to. I think he was a runner-up.
But you remembered Nydia. Like, so,
no, I didn't remember her name.
Yeah, but you remembered. So, like, you remembered people.
I knew that she was the first woman.
Typically from there.
Other than that, I could not tell you season 2 who was the woman that won because I can't remember any of that.
And I was being a little sneaky because I said, when I was choosing this week,
you're gonna go pick it just so that I won't.
Well, no, I chose it because I said the last time I chose the woman, you could not get who the woman was. So my theme might just have to choose women wrestlers
with the loss percentage on it. So you want,
but you do remember Melina. Though.
Now I'm going to pick a hard wrestler that you will not guess, and what it's going to probably be is a more recent wrestler.
The Brooklyn Brawler.
No, it's going to be a recent wrestler because I know that you don't know any of the recent wrestler. And it'll probably be somebody, and I'm giving you a hint now, probably somebody on NXT. So
snaps.
On NXT, and it'll be somebody that I'm like, yeah.
Somebody you don't even know who is on NXT.
It would just be like that, and I'll have to look up the clues, and you're going to be like, this person, nope.
See, I was also thinking, too, because we don't choose a lot of women wrestlers either. So I was like, the first one I chose.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
The second one, I was like, oh, but this one was a good one. I thought.
I don't think it was that good.
She was a good one because she had really good accolades. It wasn't like she, maybe won the title very briefly and then didn't do anything. Like she actually had.
Well, you know who
was pretty popular.
They said is retired that I think should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm not sure if they will. Is Victoria?
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I know she was on I believe she was on Impact and things like that, but she might have had that, the whole thing where like Scott Steiner had that whole falling out and then ended up coming back. So it might be something similar to that.
They said that recently she just retired from wrestling now. So I'm like, if she's retired, then she can easily go and come back for the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. But I don't know if Triple H will do that and stuff, but
we'll find out.
Yeah, that was the wrestling 20 questions. Apparently I lost because he's doing that. So tune in next week when he's going to have a loss now, and it's going to be a major loss. But if you like more of these wrestling 20 questions, or if you like our other podcasts, like and subscribe to it so we can do more of these wrestling 20 questions. And wrestling 20 questions will still go on when football season starts. And we'll probably have the split up our thing between wrestling and football.
But probably not a football 20 questions, though.
No, we're not going to do football 20 questions because that's going to be way too hard.
I mean, yeah, we're still gonna. You could kind of call it similar because there's a lot of wrestlers, but football, I think there's just way too many. It would be
football would be way harder because there's too many.
We would have to put
too many teams and stuff.
We would have to put more kind of like
era
stipulations and things on it.
Wrestling, it only has to do with the solo people.
Yeah,
so it's real easy to do.
It's easier to do wrestling than football, and you're like, I don't remember.
It'd be like. In the
George Blanda,
in the 60s, this guy played for the Broncos, but then went over to Detroit. Yeah, and now he's playing for.
So it would have to be stipulations, and I don't think it would make it as fun because you'd have to put so many stipulations. Only this era, and you're like, there's billions of football players.
With the wrestling 20 questions, we'll do the football, picks and.
Football preseason's coming up soon, so
look forward to that. If you're more of a wrestling person, that's why you subscribe to it. You'll get the wrestling news, so you could just click on to that portion of it. And then if you're just subscribed for the football stuff and you haven't been watching, you'll see the football stuff as well. But we'll see you on the next one. I'm Dark Knight 316, Robert Wheeler Gaming, and hopefully you enjoy our next episode.
Take it easy, guys. God bless you.
Yep.